Swami sir?
Yeah. Yes. Pushalakshmi, ready?
Yes sir.
Ah.
Sir, Professor Amya Kumar is not joining. So if
Okay.
you are ready, you can start, sir.
Okay. Babu. Yeah. Respected Professor Dr. S.C. Sharma ji, who is responsible in organizing this Upanyasa Malika for the benefit of the higher education institutions, wherein some of the assessment accreditation process, if they are covered in depth, they will be more confident, and thereby some of them, those who haven't come for accreditation, they can prepare very well and they can come for this. Keeping this main theme, main purpose and main objective, we have organized this Upanyasa Malika. So far, we have completed 4. This is the 5th one in the series. And I appreciate and thank all those who are participating in this Upanyasa Malika program from different parts of the country. And at the same time, I request all of you to kindly get the knowledge from this source, plus enrich your knowledge from other sources. And ultimately, you have to see that your institution should get benefit and the flag of your institution should go higher and higher. I think that is the purpose. Now, may I request Professor S.C. Sharma ji to initiate the talk regarding the main theme of the today's program is promoting research in higher education. Professor Sharma ji, thank you.
Namaskar to all of you. Well, today's topic is on managing research in higher education. First of all, I am grateful to my colleague Professor Shrikant Swami, who has initiated this Upanyasa Malika, and all my colleagues at NAAC. Here, higher education is growing very fast, and more institutions are thinking globally. And when it comes to attracting students, educators and funding, that makes the world stage a competitive place for universities and colleges, and many are seeking new and smarter ways to gain a data-driven edge. In fact, developing economies are at the forefront of this education explosion. I am using the word education explosion because there are different types of courses available, and there is no circumscribing limit for higher education, and the institutions have MOUs with other higher education institutions, particularly countries in Asia where higher education investment is frequently viewed as building block for economic growth. Considering this, before 1947 and after 1947, and how higher education has contributed to the growth of economy is a different topic altogether. And as a result, the university leaders are under pressure to boost research quality and work with institutions outside their borders also. In fact, this can be done by having memorandum of understanding with other international universities and higher education institutions. And people are always at a fast pace to publish papers, thereby the institutions H-index, citation, and so on and so forth. This is an index. This is an index nationally as well as internationally. To attract those partnership opportunities, universities need sound data insight on which to base funding and development strategies. Here, there are two aspects. One is the research index is measured by your H-index and citations and publications in good refereed international journal. And based on that, you will have some data to ask for base funding also. And thereby, the strategies of the universities are already, that is the vision statement and the mission statement is ready, and development strategies are written, and the growth plan is also accurately done, and then the achievements can be shown. Many are turning to technology to help them collect, organize, manage and analyze huge data sources generated by their institutions. And one of the other important aspects of research culture in an organization's approach to research integrity, the formal and informal ethics, standards, protocols and policies researchers follow in their environment. Organizations are increasingly recognizing the importance of the role of research integrity. This is what even in the National Education Policy document it says. Several places there is the word integrity has been continuously rebounding at several places. Therefore, integrity is the basic tenets for any higher education institution. Why alone research? Integrity in all spheres. Enhancing research culture doesn't require major effort and resources. Organizations across globally have made changes linked to integrity and that have improved their research culture. In fact, you see, success and failures while getting research grant is a relative term. And if one investigator fails a number of times, he or she will have a lot to learn from where they have failed, where he or she has failed, and what is the literature review that has to take, and what is the embedded research integrity into the heart of institutional culture is required, and this is the way it grows. And there are 7 things that could help to promote quality research, good quality research. One is small steps, incremental steps can make a big difference. Number 2, establishing support system can boost morale and enhance a positive research culture. And then ensure everyone is on the same page. 4, research culture cafes are an excellent way to share best practices. And then 6 one is promoting an excellent research culture. 7, discuss training gaps for all team members and embed research culture at an institutional level also. In so many places that we see, if you have a research center and the same equipment will be in another department, we'll have to, we really don't know in higher education institutions whether we can use the equipment that is in the next door. I think all the higher education institutions, if they pull together, the nation's research and nation's research collaboration also will improve, and thereby there will be a good research culture. Now, what does research require? Research presumes dissatisfaction with existing descriptions of reality and explanation of our experience of it, which means it rests on the desire to do better than the current consensus. Research therefore requires freedom to question, received wisdom, and some background knowledge of why we think we know what we think we know. This is very important. Social sciences, testing hypotheses, and in science and engineering, the laboratory experience, etc., to identify problems in the existing knowledge domain that is otherwise unseen, unacknowledged, or glossed over. What is research output can be measured? If so, how, and what are its metrics? Research output is new knowledge and understanding, and it can be assessed in retrospect. It is usually obvious to all after a sufficient period of time that knowledge and understanding have advanced and how. At the time of discovery, however, what counts as research output is usually and perhaps always by definition controversial. Research funding supplies the resources with which to settle the controversy by reference to observation and experiment. Funding should be available to multiple independent investigators, even those working on same problem who made the contributions often remains controversial indefinitely. And research metrics is pseudoscience in sense of managing to convey idea of measurability without being clear about what is that is being measured. And can it be measured? Yes, it can be measured. Each one has a different parameter. Research metrics is pseudoscience in the sense of managing to convey the idea of measurability without being clear about what it is that is being measured. That is very important. You know, it is an abstract concept. The concept of research. Well, here we can talk a lot about the concept of research. Research refers to creative work which is undertaking systematically in order to increase the stock of knowledge of individuals, culture and society, and further utilize this stock to devise new applications. In the broad sense, it covers gathering of data, information, collating the facts for advancement of knowledge. Innovations can be considered as key player for economic growth and subsequently improvement in the quality of living. Research in education refers to solving educational problems in a systematic and scientific manner, and also to understand, explain and predict human behavior in a more organized way. Well, research in India. In fact, we can really be proud of research in India. There are a lot of universities doing excellent work, and simultaneously higher institutions of national importance. For example, Indian Institute of Science has been doing wonderfully well, and IITs, IIMs are achieving, and also a few central universities, a majority of central universities also, and we are immensely grateful to the government for funding. Huge funding is being given, and a lot of research work in niche area is being carried out. In fact, generally, India has evolved a large number of high quality research institutions. We must acknowledge the great work done by the 5 apex bodies: Indian Council for Medical Research, Indian Council of Agricultural Research, Indian Council for Social Science Research, Council of Scientific and Industrial Research, Tata Institute of Fundamental Research, where research institutions in Mumbai dedicated to basic research in mathematics and science. I am sure I am making an appeal to all the youngsters to visit such places, and young assistant professors and associate professors to take a holistic approach to public funding and research. In fact, I should mention this. There are so many great people in our country amongst the good universities and Indian Institute of Science and IITs, and youngsters, research scholars, assistant professors who are desirous of doing PhD. You must rub shoulders with great people. I vividly remember I had taken one person from Coimbatore to Professor C.N.R. Rao, Jawaharlal Nehru Center for Advanced Studies, and he was so gracious and magnanimous after seeing the papers published, and he offered a fellowship and said that please come and work here, and he must contribute to the nation's growth in the field of research. Like this, you know, people are great. There are so many good people here who encourage. India attracts more research and development, and it's such a great pleasure visiting JNC, Professor Bharat Ratna, Professor C.N.R. Rao's laboratory, and a lot of great good equipment and world-class research is being done. Similarly, with Indian Institute of Science, Tata Institute of Fundamental Research, IITs, IIM, general universities also. Lot of good things are happening in this country, and there is a bright future. And for all this, we must thank Ministry of Education, University Grants Commission. They have been really working very hard, and the country's growth is remarkable, and you know, international collaborations are also really being taken up in steadfast. Significance of research. It is one of our knowledge is limited, and our knowledge is limited, and a number of problems need to be solved in different fields of studies. Very often we identify a vacuum in our knowledge and try to address it by asking related questions. Well, research through systematic study makes available a gamut of solutions and variety of methods which help in finding research solution. 2. Research is regarded as an objective, methodology, methodology and methodical, well-determined scientific method of investigation. 3. We carry out our mundane daily task on basis of our common sense. However, this may not be the correct approach. We will have to find out what is the best understanding the current situation, and research serves this task. 4. Another angle of research is that it helps to gather information. By getting the information and using softwares and statistical analysis, we can validate the whole thing. 5. Research is a systematic investigator into and study of materials and sources. This helps to pursue our interest, learn something new. And 6. Practice of research adds depth to research papers as students are kept abreast of the latest information. Challenges for research in India. Indian system of higher education has been facing number of challenges. It requires major investments so as to make human resource productive by coupling the older general disciplines of humanities, etc., commerce, science and technology, etc. India requires a lot of, they have encouraged, and it requires a lot of international research projects also, so that you can have a conducive academic research culture across, and well-stocked library. These days, digital library and online e-books and journals are really wonderful. InflibNet is doing a wonderful job. Provisions of adequate infrastructure, existing of research laboratories, availability of finances for purchase of funds, combining teaching and research related activity, instilling a feel of pride in this great country, and thereby it adds to all the economy, and when you collectively correlate the result. What is future of research in India? Yes, it is very, very bright. One of the great economists and Nobel Prize laureate Milton Friedman, consultant to Ministry of Finance, Government of India, 1955, said, "The great untapped resource of technical and scientific knowledge available to India for taking is the economic equivalent of untapped commitment available to the US 150 years back." What a nice statement. In the increasing competitive global economy, it is necessary to have knowledge-driven growth powered by innovation. Very often, it is the industry which is beneficiary of several research efforts, and thereby the product development also takes place. Well, as I told in the beginning, there is no circumscribing limit, where global nature active interaction with international institutions of repute must be encouraged. And India has all the potential of being a research hub, giving her long tradition of teaching and renowned brain power. The impediments have to be tackled so as to ease the path to economic prosperity. It is only by us, the higher education institutions, which we can contribute, and research promotion is happening and will happen. And I wish all the higher education institutions all the best, and my pranams to you. Thank you. Namaste.
Sir, just now you have heard a talk given by Professor S.C. Sharma, highlighting the importance of research in higher education institutions and how the Institute of National Importance are doing the work, motivating the people to have faith in research, dedicate themselves in research, and work for the cause of producing many interesting results which will help the nations to go ahead and at the same time to solve most of our problems. Thank you, sir. Now the second part of the today's lecture series is regarding research, innovation and consultancy in higher education. Now, according to me, we carry out the research at 3 levels. Level 1, wherein whatever the theoretical knowledge that a student has acquired we want him to apply that in the field situation. Maybe at the MPhil level, maybe at the master degree level, whatever the research that he is going to take up, I may call that as a level 1 research. Here, the concern of the researcher is mainly to experiment on the research process, research methodology, and ultimately to come out with the result to verify whether the objectives with which he has started is able to come out the answers for those objectives or not. I think most of the researchers at this level 1, it is being done in order to complete the course or maybe in order to get a degree under that particular heading like research. In the second level, maybe all those who have done their PhD, therefore they will go one more step ahead in order to identify certain important areas by means of which they can apply their experience of research and they can contribute better to the welfare of the society. And the third one, maybe at the global level, maybe with some kind of good understanding with the other countries, research can also be taken in order to solve the problems at the global level, at the wider level. I call that as level 3. Therefore, research should go on at all these 3 levels so that there will be some kind of continuity which leads to a kind of conducive atmosphere by means of which research will help the people to get lot of benefits out of this. Ultimately, research is for the society, but not research is for the sake of getting or acquiring some kind of research skills. Now, the COVID-19 situation has created lot of awareness among the people. It made many scientists to go ahead with lot of intensive approaches by means of which they wanted to find the result which will be of greater help to the humanities. I think now we are seeing how India has gone ahead in producing the vaccine, and now hundreds of people are getting benefit, thousands of people are getting benefit out of this. That's why always I used to stress, whatever the research that goes on at the university level, it should come to the field. That's why we have to move from laboratory to the field. We have to move from laboratory to the real situation so that the benefit will be there for the human beings. Therefore, our concern of doing research at the ultimate level, according to me, is to make the human beings, make the society little more comfortable and at the same time fulfill their aspirations and leads to a comfortable life. Now, coming back to the 3 important components that I've just taken today, one is on research, the second one is on consultancy, that innovation, and the third one is on consultancy. Now, research and innovations in higher education institutions play a central role in the advancement of societies and economies. They foster economic growth, strengthen technological progress, and enhance job creation. In addition, higher education institutions contribute to the personal development of individuals and help educate proactive citizens in societies. If I am doing research, I think I am just empowering myself. Research makes the people to possess problem-solving tendency, problem-solving mental setup. Therefore, individually, all those who have done the research, they have been benefited. And then at the second level, they can be more proactive citizens. They can be very sensible to the issues which are there, problems which are there in the society. To achieve the best possible results, these institutions acquire and also require modern and effective management. The Erasmus Mundus Master's Degree Program in Research and Innovation in Higher Education focuses on the management of higher education, research and innovation. It provides students with competencies to act as change agents able to take the leading role in institutional development. All the developed countries, almost all of them, they are doing well because they are getting the benefits of this research. Now, details regarding the criteria number 3 is also there included in our NAAC manual, which I will be just relating a little bit later. And apart from that, some aspect that I would like to highlight on the research, then innovation, consultancy, and lastly, I refer to the criteria number 3, what we follow in our NAAC manual. Higher education institutions are expected to be the creator of knowledge. Sorry, friends, this is very important because higher education is meant in order to make students to get the knowledge and at the same time facilitating students so that they can think of creating the new knowledge. And some of the great universities have come out with various kinds of findings which ultimately the people from industry they have taken over and ultimately implemented for the benefit of the society. Like the whole body scanning machine, I think the concept and the product was created at the university and later on it is taken by the industries. Now it is very common. The concept of X-ray, what Ronjan, he never visualized so much that its application will be so much in the hospitals, that X-ray. Now you are just seeing scanning machines, just you are seeing. Like that, many people in the name of higher education, they are expected to contribute something which is very unique so that there are other people who are ready to convert that idea into a product. Producing the idea, getting that idea is equally important. Then establishment of research centers. If you wanted to promote research center should be there, encouraging both minor and major research projects at the university and college level. Therefore, we should have these two aspects there at the college or as well as the university level. One, encouraging the students to take up small minor research projects. Other one is about the major research projects. There are agencies which are ready to fund. We have to motivate our students to come forward. We should be able to guide them. The role of the guide is equally important because the guide or the supervisor is expected to empower the researcher. It is not for the sake of simply guiding. In the name of guiding, both the researcher as well as the guide should go. Both of them should grow. And if they grow together, that means there will be a beautiful transformation of knowledge skills, research skills from the guide to the student, which ultimately makes the researcher to have confidence to carry on the research. Then, as Professor Sharma ji also has mentioned, developing the research culture is very important. Unless we develop the research culture at the higher education institution, research cannot go on smoothly. The higher education institutions are expected to have an internal quality assessment mechanism with much focus upon the research, and they have to monitor this research very well at their institution level. I think the institutions need not convince the external quality managing organizations or accrediting agencies to come forward and appreciate them. Your task as the higher education head in the apex of the research unit, your main concern is to develop a research culture. Therefore, all those who are aspiring to do research can come together, collectively or individually, they can contribute. If that culture is there, automatically when any agency comes, you can convince them, answering their questions and queries, and ultimately you will be recognized very well, or your institution may get a better guide. Then last point is very interesting. In the initial stage, we may do the research for the sake of making the students to get the certificate. Agree. Long range, we have to take up some kind of functional subjects, felt need subjects we have to take up, so that based upon that research, we should be able to get some kind of financial income from the industries. I think nothing wrong if the university has produced number of original researchers having patents and having some kind of uniqueness, having some kind of potential to serve the society, nothing wrong. You can collaborate with the industries, share your research experience, research knowledge and research findings. Then ultimately, industries, if they are convinced, they will take it further. In that way, university also can get income from industries. There are Western countries, many people are doing, many professors, they have got a very good recognition from the industry side. I met one professor of computer science in the Texas University, and I came to know that I think these professors are empowered with lot of funds. Therefore, industry depends more on these professors, requesting them to encourage the students to take up research, which in turn adds on to the existing knowledge, and ultimately lot of innovative things can come. Therefore, more emphasis is that ultimately we have to derive income through whatever the new knowledge that we have created. Now, the next one is regarding innovation, the second point I would like to cover here. According to Arthur Porter, he says rightly, innovation is the pivotal moment when talented and motivated people seek the opportunity to act on their ideas and dreams. There are many youngsters having lot of ideas, they are having lot of talents, they are waiting for an opportunity. The moment you provide the opportunity, it is possible that they can utilize their talents, and whatever the dreams that they can fulfill, and thereby it gives the path by means of which the innovation can continue. Therefore, what Potter says, I think I also agree with this statement, that there are talented people and we have to utilize them, we have to encourage them so that many innovations can happen. Innovation is a state of mind and an ability to look at things from a fresh perspective and never lose sight of our goals. Sorry, this is an important point. Now, we have to keep the goal in mind. In order to reach our goal, in order to achieve our objectives which are leading to the goal, we have to work hard, and at the same time, we should be able to work in an innovative manner, because innovation means little deviation from your original routine and traditional way of doing certain things. Anything you do traditionally, people may not like. Anything you do it in a very routine and conditioned manner, many may not like. But if we can take little deviation from that, keeping the goal in mind, many will appreciate, lot of progress will be there, recognition will be there. That's why many people are going for all kinds of innovative ideas. In hotel industries, you come across innovative ideas. In resorts, you come across innovative ideas. Industries, you come across innovative ideas. Therefore, even innovation can be at home. Innovation in the process of kitchen in the process of preparing the food, it can be there. Therefore, innovation means students are already having some kind of inbuilt mechanism towards innovation. It is our duty to keep our goal, to keep our area of specialization, and then we have to motivate them so that the innovations will occur. The whole world is moving towards innovation, and everywhere people are talking about innovation. I think some plastic, how many kinds of innovational activities that are going on, research that is going on. Therefore, it is very much necessary that innovation should be given top priority at the higher education institutions so that we can get the benefit out of that. Now, friends, the innovations can be in different areas. Like we have got curricular designing and development, that is one area. People also will speak about innovative curriculum. They say, what is this curriculum? Since 10 years you have been doing it. Can't you modify it? Can't you improve upon that? Therefore, there is a scope in the area of curricular designing. And the second area is regarding teaching learning process, which is equally important. Innovative approaches we are talking in teaching. How best we can make your teaching more innovative. Then the next one, development of infrastructure. Many people will develop the infrastructure, but in some institutions, the way in which they have developed the infrastructure attracts many people, attracts students, attracts faculty members. Then similarly, research, as I said, routine type of research is one activity. Other one is innovative type of research. Sometimes interdisciplinary can also be little bit of innovation. Multidisciplinary can also be innovation. Then consultancy and corporate training. This is also equally important. Is your higher education institution is prepared to provide consultancy and also some kind of training for the corporate people? Then how far you are using effectively your digital platform? So many digital platforms are there. The COVID situation, it has created a lot of opportunity for us to convert threat into an opportunity. Therefore, online programs, online courses, creating various kinds of apps in order to facilitate research and learning, so many things are going on. I think, as I said earlier, industries, lot of innovation that they have done, corporation sector, lot of, and even great research centers are also doing lot of innovations in their own research. The type of research what they do, lot of innovations connecting the different disciplines together and doing the research. Geography, connecting with oceanography, research is there. There were a lot of such kinds of innovative practices one has to do about it. For that, create opportunities is equally important, because unless you provide the opportunity, people may not come. Then make the people to come out with their ideas. Many are gifted. In the creation only, God has given that kind of power and ability. The intelligence is normally distributed, we say. Creativity is normally distributed. Therefore, there are people with wonderful ideas. Provide the opportunity, and unless you provide, they may not be able to communicate and convey their ideas. Exploit the situation in the true spirit and ultimately come out with innovations. And in corporate sector, I have come across the encouragement what they are giving. In some of the higher education institutions, in a humorous way, if somebody is giving wonderful ideas, they say, your ideas are very good here, but not very good to implement. Like that, they smile, they laugh and forget about it. Whereas in industry, if a good idea is given and the individual is made to work on that particular idea, if that idea works and clicks very well, I think they are going to get a lot of benefits, lot of promotions, lot of financial benefits they will be getting it. Therefore, we have to take somewhere this idea of recognizing the people. I think, in my opinion, we have got lot of scope to identify the people who are having lot of talents. Somewhere or the other, I have come across afraiding about the talent is one situation, and then utilizing the talent is another situation. The two extremes I have come across. Some experts are there, some very good leaders are there, charismatic leaders and transformation leaders. They are always scanning and searching for the people, scanning and searching for the talents. They wanted to exploit and ultimately wanted to get the benefit. Whereas on the other hand, there are few people, they are scared about intelligence, they are scared about creativity, they are scared about the people who are having a lot of creativity. They are not encouraging. I do not know why. Why? What is the reason? Many human tendencies may be there. Human tendencies may be there. They thought that by providing opportunity for intellectual fellow, he may block the progress of other people. That may not be true. Always people who have got the ability should be given opportunity, so that the human society will be getting their benefit. We are all here mutually to help, mutually to grow, mutually to contribute, and ultimately living happily. I think that is a beautiful concept, therefore we have to encourage. There are innovation models experts are talking. One is the first generation model, like NASA. In the year as early as 1960, they came out with various kinds of innovations. The second generation model is the model wherein whatever the market expects, keeping the expectations of the market, doing the innovations. The third generation model is one where it is hybrid. We combine these two. We will produce utilizing the intellectual resources wherever we are having, and at the same time what exactly people want, what exactly market wants. That's why they go for a market survey. Based upon the market survey, they are going to come out with lot of innovations. If market survey says this product we expect, this equipment we expect, this machine we are going to expect, I think that is how we have to create. Because whatever we are creating, always I used to say, a good professor is one who should not share the information, whatever he knows. He should always share the information, whatever the students expects him to share. Therefore, we have to keep expectations, and then if we can act, there will be a beautiful gel. Ultimately, they get the benefit. In the same way here, first generation, second generation, combination of these two would be all right. That's why many places they conduct the survey to find out what they prefer, what brand they prefer, what the brand, maybe TV, what brand that they may prefer, mobile, what type of brand that they may prefer. Then cost benefit analysis, which the material should be good as well as should have a low cost. Therefore, I think in this direction, a lot of innovations have happened. I've just mentioned this aspect just like that only. Okay. Now, friend, the next one, which is equally important, is regarding the innovations everywhere. Everywhere we are talking. Then the consultancy is another important activity which I am just mentioning. This concept is not very much familiar to most of our higher education institutions. Especially in teacher education, people may say, what is this consultancy? Management people are highly comfortable. In fact, most of the management experts have given a lot of emphasis upon the consultancy. Other general education people are not aware about this consultancy, the concept of consultancy. And people have not understood the way in which they are expected to understand the concept of consultancy and its advantage. Activity organized by the faculty for an external agency for which the expertise and the specific knowledge and skills of the faculty becomes the major input is to be recognized. Friend, this is very important. Our faculty members are highly qualified. They have got knowledge. They have got the technical knowledge. They have got the specific knowledge. They have got most of them must be having the update knowledge. Similarly, some of them have got the skills, technical skills they may be having, soft skills they may be having. So many things are there. Therefore, instead of utilizing all these things to your own students, to your own stakeholders, the internal stakeholders, why can't you share that for the benefit of people who are outside your institution so that they also will grow? I think that is how the consultancy concept came, wherein you can share your knowledge, your expertise, and your skills to the outside people. The finances generated through consultancy ought to be fairly utilized by the institution. Very important. I have come across one or two universities, maybe deemed one. They say this year we got through consultancy so many lakhs we got through consultancy. Some of you may not like, what sir, we are not people from industries where our job is to sell the product and get the money. We are here to do justice to teaching, justice to learning, justice to research, like that you may say. But there is a paradigm shift it is going on. Therefore, they say the university should get the finance from these kinds of sources, and the university or the college should use this very fairly, very, very important. Whatever the income we get through this consultancy, we have to use it maybe for the welfare of the staff members, maybe to start with, welfare of students, maybe to start with, welfare of the people who are working there, office people who are maintaining the cleanliness, somewhere or the other, we have to just utilize this. The faculty taking up consultancy must properly reward it. Now, this is very, very important. Therefore, out of some 300 people, if 20 people are going and they are bringing the resources, the remaining people at least, if they are not capable and able to go, but those who are going should be encouraged. They should not be demotivated, and they should be supported with all kinds of necessary materials if they want. Because they are going there not only to their personal welfare, personal visibility, but they are going there in order to make the institution visible to the outside world. Therefore, is it not a strong point? Is it not an approach which brings name to your college, to your institution? If your institution is good, you will be very good. If my organization is good, I will be very good. If my organization is financially strong, I think I will be the first person to feel very happy to work in such organization. So I think very interesting point I'm just sharing here. The faculty must be properly rewarded. One more, go back. Faculty must be rewarded previous one. The faculty must be rewarded. University is a source pool with several persons engaged in research at various levels. Consultancy shows the credibility of the university research acumen to in the outside world. I think the same point that I have repeated. Now the next one, there are 7 criteria we follow. You are all very familiar because most of you have gone for third cycle, second cycle. You are all very familiar. And you know, I am here to reinforce some of those ideas. I may not be able to give something too extra, but reinforcing certain things. Among the 7, I think our concern is on the third criteria like research, innovations and extensions. We speak about it. Now with this, the third criteria, the criterion seeks information on the policies, practices and outcomes. So through this, what the experts, whenever they are asking you through your SSR or when the peer team members are coming there to see your institution in order to assess as well as to give accreditation, especially with respect to third, they ask you, what are your research policies? Very, very important. What are your research practices and research outcomes? I have come across some colleges where they say, sir, we have done PhDs. In our college, we have got more than 30% of the people who have done PhD. But our college has not been recognized as a research center. Therefore, we are not able to guide. I think there are many problems are there. That's why we are suggesting that every college should have a research center to nurture as well as to develop the research culture. Therefore, when the NAAC experts are coming, they'll be asking you, what are your policies, research policies, practices, and what is the outcome of your research? Some will highlight, sir, we have produced some 200 PhDs. So what? Experts will ask. Sir, we have come out with some 200 to 250 research articles in a refereed journal, high impact journal. But they ask, fine, what is that? I think we should not mistake them. There is a purpose in asking like that. That means who are the people who are going to be benefited from your research? Is your institution? Is your neighbors? Is agricultural field? Or is it your management commerce field, engineering field, or industries? Who are the people who are going to be benefited with that? Because research means money. Money means research, according to me. So certain amount of money is also necessary to carry on good research. Good research, I am using the word. Thanks to the initiative of our UGC Grants Commission, they are encouraging, they are giving financial support. Even ICSSR, earlier when we were all students, they were encouraging us that we can apply and they are going to give financial grant. And they are ready to publish our own thesis. Whatever the cost it costs, they used to reimburse. Lot of schemes are there in order to encourage. Then the Department of Science and Technology, how many people have been benefited from that? Therefore, many schemes under the government of central government, many schemes may be here and there in the state government. There are various kinds of funding agencies. Within India there are, outside India there are, but how best we are going to utilize? Therefore, they ask the institution, are you aware about these organizations? Are you aware about even our National Education Policy 2020 also speaks about establishing a national level research funding agency, funding center, National Research Foundation. They wanted to give funds for many people who are interested to carry on high quality research. It deals with the facilities provided and efforts. Then, all right, what are the facilities? Somebody may say, in our institution, the percentage is very less. Many have not come forward to do the research. I think, have you ever analyzed why they have not come forward? What is the facility that you have provided? I was the director, additional director in charge of PhD programs at Christ University. Many staff members were just telling, sir, we kindly write a letter to the Vice Chancellor and other higher authorities and request them to give some kind of concession. I asked them, what type of concession? At least when we are supposed to submit our thesis, final thesis, sir, some kind of concession wherein instead of taking 16 hours, please ask us to take 12 hours. or instead of taking the classes, maybe throughout the academic year, if you give permission so that we can cover the portions well in advance, so that at the time of submitting the thesis, we can get some kind of time so that we can do quality work. I think hats off to many vice chancellors. They are encouraging their staff members. They are giving financial support, and they are giving some small fund to purchase the books, purchase the equipments, provide facilities for the people to carry on. I think we have done, we have created, we have helped many PhD scholars to do their and carry on their research comfortably. For engineering students also, we have established a small lab with high-tech computer, with some of the softwares, and so that they can use the softwares free of cost. Similarly, for the science students, social science students, because research in science, research in social science, research in commerce and management, research in engineering, I think small variations are there. They want certain facilities. I think without facilities, you cannot think of. Management should be oriented with respect to this. Principal should be oriented. Head of the institution should be oriented. Even some vice chancellors, I think they are all extremely good. I've met so many vice chancellors, so many registrars. They have got a beautiful futuristic plan. Alvin Toffler always says, unless we have got a futuristic will, where we can keep on thinking after 2 years how we should be, after 5 years how we should be, things may not go fast. Therefore, I think he has given a lot of information regarding that. Then they also will ask you the research projects that you have undertaken. How many research projects, minor research projects, main research projects. I think who are the beneficiaries of your research, and any patent for your research, they ask this question. And financial help, they ask. I think then where exactly you have published papers, how many papers you have published. University Grants Commission insist on at least minimum 2 papers to be published in a refereed journal. But many must have published several. I have come across students with one research area, they have published 6 to 7 areas. Of course, it should be without a lot of reputation that they have to do it. Okay. Then with respect to the key indicators, we have got around some 7 key indicators, like promotion of research and facilities, one important key indicator. Then how do you mobilize resources, especially for research? How do you mobilize? Then innovation ecosystem. Everybody says innovation, incubation centers, innovation centers. Once again, thanks to University Grants Commission. And there are people, they have also already established the innovation cells. They are also insisting that some universities can be elevated as universities for innovations, like elevating some of the universities as research universities. We have got academic universities on one hand, research universities on the other hand. Sorry, elevating the universities to the research universities. Lot of advantages are there. Therefore, some kind of ecosystem should be there. Simply innovation, giving a lecture on innovation may not help. We have to provide, we have to monitor, we have to see the result. Then research publication and awards. This is also equally important. How many papers, how many publications? And as I said, as a director of the research head, I also have experienced that many students have not been trained in writing their own research papers, maybe including me. The reason is, when someone is doing the research, they will not insist on the writing skills. We assume that all of them, they know it. It is wrong. I have seen some of them are very good in speaking English. When it comes to the writing of the thesis, lot of errors. Therefore, some of them lack this kind of academic writing skills. There are different type of these schools of thought on the writing skills. And now, thanks to the concept of our open and distance learning, and thanks to these courses people are running in the name of edX courses, MOOC courses, Coursera, and thanks to the initiative taken by the Harvard University, Massachusetts Institute of Technology, Stanford University, so many important universities are there. They are ready to conduct some kind of courses on these academic writing skills. Now, many people have taken small certificate courses, acquiring the writing skills, by means of which, with a lot of confidence, they can prepare their own thesis. Now, I have come across, even in India, a small percentage of PhD scholars, they are not able to write the thesis on their own because of various reasons. Even the relationship between the research scholar and also the supervisor, it should be it should be considered as very strong. The bond between these two should be very strong. But in some places I have come across a weak bond is existing between these. With the result, neither the guide is going to experience the beauty of guiding and experiencing the joyfulness of guiding the student, nor the student is going to be empowered with that. Of course, I am not generalizing with all my 45 years of experience. I am just sharing this with you. I am not generalizing, but many people are there. Most of you are doing extremely well. Most of you are doing extremely well. We are developing. We are competing with the developing countries, but it takes time. But we have to concentrate on the publication aspect. And then the consultancy aspect also, one criteria they ask, what are your extension activities? What do you do? Sir, we are all teaching inside the four walls and we are doing. No. They say, have you gone out? Where have you gone? What you have shared? Who are the people who have been benefited? Extension activities, we say. That's what UGC also insists upon. Number one, teaching. It should be extremely good, especially for people who are in the universities and colleges. The second one is very important. That is the extension activities, research activities, and publication. All the four are equally important if you are there and working in higher education. There were the 7 criteria we have taken. Many experts have given this criteria. Of course, you also, most of you are there in higher education. Probably you must have discussed and with lot of deliberations you must have come out with this collaboration. But in the concept of our national education policies in future, there is a possibility of reviewing these key indicators once again to find out anything to be added or deleted. Then promotion of research is a significant responsibility of the higher education institutions, particularly for universities, without which a research culture cannot happen. The first point I'm just saying, promotion is equally important. Then it also includes the responsiveness and administrative support of the institution utilizing the supports and resources made. I think government institutions we are having, private institutions we are having, autonomous colleges we are having. Therefore, there is a need to monitor some of these institutions without which it will be very, very, very difficult. In that way, higher institutions should take up greater responsibility. The institution must collaborate with other agencies, institutions, and research bodies for sharing research facilities and undertaking collaborative research. When I have come across Department of Science and Technology that is in Delhi, they encourage students to go outside and then do 2 to 3 months of laboratory work, for which they'll be getting some kind of financial support. They have a theoretical work, they can do it here, then have some kind of correspondence, get permission, go to other countries, stay there for 3-4 months. They provide a lot of financial assistance. Complete your laboratory work because you say you have taken up a research. You are not having some kind of facilities pertaining to that particular area of research. Other country has got, therefore you have to move. That's why experts also will ask you, do you have MOU with respect to research? Exchange program with respect to research, which is equally important. Then resource mobilization for research, I think mentioned already. Institution must provide support in terms of financial, academic, and human resources. All the three are very important. We have to provide, we have to mobilize the resources regarding that. Even administrative aspects should also be taken into consideration. There should be smooth correspondence facilities for the researcher. Applying should not become a difficult task. Correspondence should not become a difficult task. Communication should not become a difficult task. Because too many hurdles and too many procedures if you are having to, in order to grant, let us say a grant of some 30,000 rupees or 40,000 rupees, too many hurdles if you keep it, I think the research will be demotivated. Therefore, I think even my appeal, my request to the funding agencies is, I think you should be little more the researcher friendly, and so that they come forward. Even I learned German, for example, in the initial stage, a lot of work that they have done in the name of research. I asked one of the professors, he told me initially, they said whoever has got a wonderful idea, in whatever may be the area, you please ask if you want any kind of financial support, we are going to give you, you develop that particular area. This is what I think informally I got the information, maybe true. Many people applied, I want to do something in the area of physics, in the area of chemistry, in the area of mathematics, in the area of the biology, or in the area of microbiology. I think grants were given. Initially, trial and error may happen. Quality may not be up to the mark. But unless you allow somebody to swim, how do you expect him to learn swimming? In the same way here also, therefore somewhere my expectation, my appeal is we have to be, the administration procedure should be a little bit researcher friendly, and so that people will come forward and some kind of support, some kind of guidance, which is equally important. Faculty must be empowered to take up research activities utilizing the existing facilities available. Institution must encourage its staff to engage in interdisciplinary or multidisciplinary, very important. If I'm a professor of physics, I should discuss with, let us say, professor of chemistry, professor of mathematics, nothing wrong. Professor of physics with the professor of biology, nothing wrong. Thereby, it is possible for us to, our national education policy insist upon multidisciplinary approach, a beautiful approach, beautiful concept, which you have to realize. Therefore, it is very much necessary to have collaboration proceed. Then innovation ecosystem, I have already mentioned. 1 or 2 points to highlight here. The institution has created an ecosystem for innovation, including incubation center and other initiatives for creation. I think incubation center, we speak theoretically, but you have to see in some universities how they have developed the center. Beautiful. Therefore, I think visit to such in universities, and then some of the faculty members moving with this instead of national importance. Beautiful national centers are doing very well. They are coming up, competing with some of the world institutions like Indians of Science, Indians of Technology. So many national institutes are there. They are doing wonderfully well. They have got collaboration with foreign organizations. Therefore, their experience is much higher compared to our experience. So better to interact with them. The institution conducts workshops, seminars on intellectual property right. I think, Sir also has mentioned, Sharmaji also has mentioned, in research ethics is one important area. Therefore, ethics in research is an important area. Therefore, very humbly, very sincerely, we have to acknowledge the source from where we got the information. Acknowledge the people, all those who have helped in making my research become very strong. And at the same time, if there is any intellectual property right, I think we have to come out with that. The institution should come out with some kind of clear-cut policy on this IPR and patent policy, encouraging the students, encourage them to do the good work. Here, one point to stress is, most of us, we say patents are not there, and many of our work is ordinary means. At the time of selecting only, we should be very careful in making the students select the right type of topic. Select the topics which have got scope for some kind of benefits to the society, benefits to industry people, benefits to the whole nation. In other countries, I have heard, to the best of my limited knowledge, in some of the research universities, they have got a watchdog committee, a committee which is there to watch what are the major topics these people have taken, and they are doing the research. Otherwise, I think our research becomes very diluted. I asked one person, what is the research you are doing, in a humorous way, underline that. Sir, I am doing the work on research on a touch me not plant. What level? Master degree level. MPhil, I asked what that. I am doing a research on touch me not plant. PhD level touch me not plant. That is good. What is the scope? Why you wanted to go? Do you think that you have to spend so much of time to know more about that touch me not plant? In a humorous way, as I said, I am just mentioning. Therefore, including myself, we want some kind of nurturing environment. We want some people acting like mentors for us. We want some kind of scientist who can come and we can share. Therefore, unless we have got some kind of network with the scientist, network with some people who are very good in mentoring, I think somewhere as a researcher, we may not be comfortable. Therefore, initial level, if you are not taking, we are producing only ordinary researchers at different level. engineering maybe, or maybe in the general education system, commerce area, art area. And in some places I have come across research related to language. The methodology is not very strong. They say, no, in language we don't require so much of methodology, sir. In history we may not require. I am yet to correct my statement. I think still, if you try little more robustness, we can make it little more. Therefore, our concern is, unless you encourage the people to select the right type of topic, because lot of reputations are there, in my opinion. I've seen, because I also monitored more than 187 research proposals. I've just seen. I sat with the people when they were presenting. Therefore, I think we should not blame the students, nor we can blame the supervisors, but somewhere in our system, we should be able to encourage only the topics which are very good. Now, the startups everywhere people are talking. Therefore, startups incubated on campus and are explicitly incentivized by the institution. Therefore, we encourage. Many engineering students are having high knowledge, high competencies. Their exposure is good. They know better what is going on outside India compared to some of us. Therefore, we have to encourage them. Even the concept of startup as envisaged and as promoted, as discussed by our respected Prime Minister. Therefore, somewhere or the other, lot of scopes we are having. Even automation, the concept of artificial intelligence. Many more research studies should come in the area of AI, artificial intelligence and automation, in the area of computer science. Already it is going on, but in some areas like health science, transportation, I think we want. Therefore, somewhere the innovation ecosystem is very, very important. Research publications and awards, as I've already mentioned, always we have to insist upon, encourage the people. Why many scholars may not be able to apply and send their papers? Because they are not confident. Sir Springer, no, I am not confident enough to send. Let my paper accept in our local national journal first, and later on I may go for that. It is a fact. Therefore, research acumen is an evolving feature reflecting various research outputs with clear records such as doctoral, postdoctoral projects. I think we have a clear idea. Then as and when we move from level 1 to level 2, level 2 to level 3, quality should be very good. Quality in terms of what? Quality in terms of our review of related literature. Because unless we refer the literature available to the particular area, we may not be able to know on many aspects. Aspects like variables we may not be able to know. Should I take up a quality research design or should I take up a quantity research design? I think the reviews also may give me some idea. What should be the sample size? That will help us. What should be my measuring tools or data collecting tools? That will help us. In that way, somewhere or the other, as and when we go, little robustness, will have better understanding, and at the same time, output also should be in that manner. And sometimes we can also have more than one guide. If your students are going for interdisciplinary, already you are having multidisciplinary, you can have 2 or 3, or sometimes we also can have for some special areas, you can have some special invitees, or let us say external experts. You can keep 2 or 3 or 4 who can monitor the students. I'm not talking in terms of adjudication of the thesis. I think consultancy area already have completed. Then extension activities also I have just told. I think some institutions believe in these extension activities. Sorry. And some of them have not believed. No, sir, our work is more. Our results are primary for us. We do not want to send the students for extension activities. But NAAC says, no. Extension activity is part of your program. It is inbuilt in your curriculum. It should be inbuilt in your curriculum. Therefore, please show us what type of extension activity that you are doing. How many disciplines you are having. Do you have extension activities in science, in social science, maybe engineering, maybe commerce, management? I think very, very important we have to do that. The pros and strategies inherent in such activities relevantly sensitive students to the social issues and context, because even you can involve your students in the extension activities depending upon the availability of time. Unless you go, even social science, I am also having a little background about social science. And sociology, reading the books and understanding is one aspect. But going to the tribal area and understanding is another aspect. Going to a remote area and understanding the social life is another aspect. These are quite different. Therefore, extension activities will provide the students to become very sensitive to the society, or maybe the area, particular area like tribal area, or maybe to the nature. I think a lot of benefits are there when you involve in the extension activities. Ground realities will come to know about it. I have just highlighted. Then the collaboration aspect is equally important. Most of the time, the NAAC officials visiting team will ask you collaborations, and even some metrics also discuss about this collaboration. Do you have collaboration? Or MOUs we speak now, Memorandum of Understanding. And initially you must have had 10, but how many MOUs are in functional state? NAAC always particular about that. Your MOU, functionally how many? Initially you had 12. How many you have renewed? All right, first time you had the MOU. Second year, third year, what is the progress? First year, how you have utilized the outcome on this MOU? Second term, how? Third term, how? I think I am also a learner, but still I can just say our collaboration should be very strong, and we require a lot of training regarding this collaboration. What is this collaboration? Why we wanted to go? What are the basic principles you have to keep in mind if you wanted to go for MOU? What are the basic rules we have to keep in mind if you wanted to go for MOU? I think MOU is very, very important. It brings people of different fields to come together, work together, and collectively get the benefit. I think that advantage is there. Local MOU, within the state MOU, outside country MOU, lot of things. Therefore, collaboration, international collaboration, we speak. And there are many agencies who believe in that. And if your institution has got more collaborations and doing lot of work collaboratively, I think it carries more weightage. Possibility of getting more marks in that particular area will be more. Therefore, collaboration one cannot neglect. Then there are distribution of weightages, you are very familiar. For universities, maybe around 250 marks weightage is there. Then for autonomous colleges, 150, because they have got a lot of independence that they can do. And universities are supposed to be the creator of new knowledges, therefore more weightage here, autonomous less. With respect to the colleges, UG courses and PG courses, also little variation. Where they have got the PG courses, maybe more weightage, and where they have got the UG, there will be less weightage. Now, I think there are many aspects with respect to, I may take little time today, 5 minutes or 10 minutes more, because of your benefit only. Higher education, research and innovation, the key axis under that. Research functions of academia remains a prime source of knowledge and innovations at national, regional and international levels. Over the past decade, most industrialized states have been obliged to address the double challenge of providing wide access to post-secondary education or tertiary education now. Therefore, somewhere or the other, the intervention of academia and industry also helped in intensifying our research programs. This is proving to be a delicate balancing act between the industry as well as this, but however, we have just succeeded. Government pursue reforms to build world-class systems of higher education, which assure quality in both research and teaching. I think, according to me, research and teaching, they are the two sides of the same coin at higher level. The teaching, if I am teaching without the knowledge of research, probably my teaching may not be so appealing. It may not be so much interesting, and it may not be attract the students to have faith in that knowledge, whatever I'm going to discuss. But if it is based upon the research, people will accept. Similarly, all those who are doing the research, unless they share, unless they have got some kind of teaching skills with them, I think they are not able to explain. I have come across some scientists, sorry, They have done wonderful work, but in a common public place, if I ask them to explain, I think they were not comfortable. They were not comfortable. Why it is so? Because as I said, they have done exclusively research in the name of research universities. But I expect always whoever does the research to go and share, teach the students, to the students, make them to understand. I think some aspects in the in contrast, the term world-class university tends to denote research-oriented institutions. Now we say it is a world-class university branded. It is a research university branded. I think thereby they can do wonderful work. And here I have just given some information. For universities wishing to enhance their research reputations, the challenges continue to grow today. Some 22 of the world's elite 25 research universities, they are known as super research universities or super RUs, are located in one country known as US. USA has got more than 25 RUs which are world famous. There are other countries that are also saying we are having the research universities where a lot of focus is on research they are doing. And other information I have given in response to the area of research, like for this reason, support for research universities, notably those with science, technology and innovation, strength has become an important priority in OECD member countries. I think we are also talking about the low and average income countries and other. Therefore, how exactly the research? And many top countries are there, all familiar. You can refer to the top 20 countries in the QS world ranking and try to find out how exactly they are doing, carrying on the research. Therefore, some information I have given with respect to Taiwan and with respect to Shanghai University and so many things. Then similarly, in contrast, the Times Higher Education or the QS World University Rankings adopt a wider range of criteria, including peer appraisal, graduate employability, teaching quality, and the presence of international faculty and students in pertaining to the research only. They ask how many foreign faculty members are there involved in research, helping in research, some information that they are providing. Then I said low income countries, middle income countries, or developing countries, developed countries. I think the scenario is slightly different and it varies. Depending upon when they started, when they developed the research culture, when they sow the seed of research culture, depending upon that, some of the developed countries are doing well and some of the developed countries may not be. But I think because of MOU and other things, even the so-called the underdeveloped countries are also doing very well. I think I just mentioned about that Argentina, Brazil, Chile, and Mexico, for example. Here they say this LAC region, 80% of PhD graduates are concentrated in just 4 countries only. There are countries wherein the percentage of people doing PhD is not up to the mark. Similarly, here you can also say the grants, whatever we are giving research grants, it also varies from country to country. Average government expenditure on research in the Arab state is around 1.5%, compared with 2.5% in OECD member countries, or more starkly 0.9% in Egypt compared to 18% in Japan. Therefore, we say Japan, Korea. Why so much? Because the research grants very important. Therefore, my personal feel is we have to spend little more money on research. Initially, it may be an investment. Always I used to say, investment in industry is different and investment in education is different. Investment in industry, you may get the benefit, profit immediately. But if you invest money in education, you may not get it, you have to wait for it. So also with respect to research, we expect our country also to spend little more money and then monitor, supervise, and wait for the better result. Okay. Yes, I think it's skipping. Okay, next one. Then it could be argued that support for the principle of a research university in this context is more urgent than ever before. That's why they are encouraging our national policy on education. Also talking about the research intensified universities concept, wanted to encourage them. And there are many issues and challenges in our process, I agree. But always I expect that we have to spread the success stories of our research. Definitely, how simple research in many areas, how it has brought the research in the area of our the diode, triode, and ultimately leading to the LED bulbs, and how LED bulbs has brought lot of revolution. You can just see the nanotechnology, how it has brought revolution. I think we can just see there were many challenges are there. I think one has to keep that in mind. And innovative policies in higher education and research and in science technology is also equally important. It is going on. Efforts to train and retain and attract highly skilled human capital is equally important. There are people having a lot of research skills, but how do you attract them? Industries, they do it. They conduct the interview, select, and ultimately they do. Like nobody imagined that Steve Jobs, he is going to contribute so much. When the Apple company, at what particular stage it was there, what was his contribution, how he has brought, nobody knew. There were different people have got that. Therefore, I always believe in the creation only. There are some people who are gifted. They are made to serve for the cause of the development of a nation. That is why in the area of computer science, nobody believed. Research in computer science, nobody believed it is going to bring so many changes in this world. So many changes. Without computer, can we live now? Without TV, can we manage? Mobile, can we manage? Without social media, what will happen? There was a lot of research, thanks to those people now. Earlier, if you wanted to send some information from here to America, how much money or other place? Now through social media, real time, on the real time basis, we can communicate and we can. But some or other, I am highlighting that particular point, that there is a need to give importance to all these things, review and take it further. I think there are many informations, probably I'm not going to just highlight upon that. There are specific organizations like research scientists and engineers organization maybe, or maybe Royal Moroccan Academy of Science and Kuwait's private universities. They are spending a lot of time encouraging UNESCO. Then research and innovation systems, under that here I am highlighting organizations or formal structures to be created in order to do that. Institutions can be defined as frameworks of norms, rules, legislations, and routines which constitute the rules of the game. That means clear-cut policy, clear-cut rules. Even NAAC expect some of these aspects should be put on your website, institutional website, so that even all the stakeholders will come to know about that. Very important. In some of the deemed universities I have come across, to encourage and develop the research culture, they themselves are financing the money in the name of minor and major projects. They send a circular stating how many of you are interested. We will give you the money. Small research projects, maybe 80,000 rupees, 1 lakh. Major research projects, 3 lakhs, 5 lakhs, 8 lakhs. I think they do it. Then similarly, the R&D unit in the industry, they are doing very well. They believe in capacity building programs and encouraging creative organizations which promote entrepreneurship and enhance. This is also equally important. Ultimately, with the research, more number of people who have got faith in entrepreneurship should come forward, crowd should come forward and encourage the people to do it. Then networking through markets and mechanisms with interacting learning, very important. If you have produced from science and engineering background, some researches, some results, you have to just share that with the people. Unless you share, people do not know how to utilize those findings. Most of the research, once the PhD is over, many students will just give that to the library. It will be there maybe in the library. Many are not able to. That's why I appreciate some of the universities. They have come out with the concept of preparing a small abstracts of the studies conducted in their university and sharing with the people. A beautiful idea. I am also asking you, if you have done, kindly bring out a small abstract of those findings only, title and with little greater findings, and ask the people if possible, this finding useful in the field of agriculture, in the field of marketing. If we can do, I think many will be benefited from that. Then, as I said, we have to create a climate, which I mentioned last time. Unless you create a climate in an organization, things cannot go. Therefore, I think Japanese model, Korean model, different models you can adopt And there are different models by means of which how one can innovate. There are models, you can go through it, you can enrich your knowledge. Then overall, it is not surprising that research on innovation has gained importance. With all these things, I think everywhere, our sir also has mentioned, we are doing very well, we are progressing, but however, to compete, it is very much necessary. Now, to conclude, develop the research culture in your university or the college. Establish your innovative cells and ask for some grants from the center or state for your innovation or innovative cells. Make your objectives very clear to them so that they are sure of giving grants to you. Search for research financing, I said. Prepare guidelines for consultancy because that part is little bit weak in more. Most of you under criteria number 3, you may get little marks maybe in terms of research, but in terms of innovation, in terms of consultancy, you may not be able to get more marks because you have to work on that particular area. Supervision monitoring is very important. Simply if you give grant, it is not enough. You have to monitor. Most of the financing agencies will do that. You have to do it. Introduce incentive schemes and encourage good research projects. Encourage them. Make the findings visible. Make that researcher is also visible. Empower him. Encourage him. In turn, you can have research circles by means of it. Depending upon the subject areas, you can have research circles. Research circles pertain to engineering, pertain to commerce, pertain to social. I think already there this concept. I am in for the same thing. Friend, this is what I want to just share. I thank all of you for participating in this kind of program. Expecting you also to participate in the remaining. We have got another 7 lectures under this Upanyasa Malika. Thank you very much. Stop here. I think
Thank you, sir.
Pushyalakshmi.
Yes.
Yes. You can
Thank you,
invite.
sir. There are 2 questions.
Yes.
So, shall I read it, sir?
Yeah, please.
There is a question from Dr. Hitesh Solanki.
Yeah.
The question is, I'm identifying and authenticate plans named to the different pharmacy colleges, other departments like zoology, bioinformatics, and many more for their students' research. Is this included in consultancy?
I think you are involving. You kindly repeat that last part. You are involving.
I am identifying and authenticate plans named to the different pharmacy colleges, other departments like zoology, bioinformatics, and many more for their students' research.
In my opinion, the experts may not give weightage to it because in the consultancy you have to go. Little bit of monetary benefit should be there for the institution. Usually we look from that angle. Kindly correct me if I am wrong. Therefore, supposing let us say I am from a teacher's college. I have trained very well with respect to the different pedagogical aspects, different methods of teaching. Therefore, if I go outside and conduct some kind of program, saying that this project for 5 days involving all these people, it costs so much. In that way, financial aspect should also be involved there so that we share our competencies, knowledge and skills for the outside people, get some financial resources, use it for our university and the college. That should be the focus. Therefore, this they may not give weightage. Okay, next one.
Yes, sir.
They may appreciate. They may not. Okay.
Another question from Professor R.K. Vaidyanathan.
Okay.
The question is, what is the scope for establishing the regional research centers to share and empower the research competencies which are single-sided when it comes to excellence, that is research excellence?
Yeah, I think it is most welcome. I do not know whether there are many regional research centers established by the government. We have to make sure. Therefore, there are 2 possibilities. One can be the university itself can say we are going to establish a regional centers and they can have the interaction with the people, asking them to share, and thereby it can create a platform. Or else it is a nice way in future. I expect that the government also will become the party wherein we can establish Professor Vaidyanathan, the regional centers. I think thereby we can disseminate the research findings to a greater extent. Therefore, I welcome, and in case if the people are already established and doing, I think we have to learn from them and try to spread this information to other places. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Any question? Yeah.
No, sir, I'm not able to see any questions in Q&A. Professor Suresh Rangarajan wants to ask questions, sir.
Yes. Suresh?
Good evening, sir.
Sir.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening. Tell me, sir. Good evening.
Sir, I am Professor Suresh Rangarajan. I am in the Department of Political Science, University of Kerala. Sir, first of all, let me congratulate you for making such a wonderful presentation.
Thank you.
And we have learned many things from this, especially about innovation and consultation and many things. Sir, this is not a question, this is just a comment only, sir.
Okay.
Sir, during the Corona period, we have started a virtual School of Politics and International Relations, and we have launched a program, MA International Relations and Diplomacy, and it went on very well. And that I just want to share it. And another important aspect that we have done is that extension activities. We have nearly 600 kilometers of coastal area. So we took our students, not during the pandemic, before that, we took our students, our PG students, to visit some of the coastal area. And it was a very good interaction, and the students learned many things about the coastal community, and it was in fact helping not only in policy making but also in understanding the problems of the coastal community. Yeah. So you have rightly suggested these two things, so I just want to highlight once again. Thank you, sir.
Mr. Suresh, thank you very much for having shared these two for the benefit of me as well as others. I think it is a very good practice. The first one, definitely under the name of innovation, you can just have a little weightage for it. And the second one, especially for the extension activities, both are good, both are relevant, and kindly proceed in the same direction and encourage other people also. Thank you. It is a good practice. Thank you.
Dr. Priti, you may ask your question.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening.
Sir, congratulate you, sir, for your excellent presentation.
Thank you.
Sir, my question is, in our state of Orissa, sir,
Orissa.
I'm from Orissa, so I'm assistant professor in zoology. So in our state, sir, the regulations for promotion, there's no requirement of API for assistant professor stage 1 to assistant professor stage 2, and from assistant professor stage 2 to assistant professor stage 3, and so also from assistant professor stage 3 to associate professor. There's no requirement of API. It is just time bound. So in such a scenario, sir, how can we create a research culture? Because the teachers won't be interested to take up research because they won't be rewarded. It is just time bound. So how can we create a research culture in such a place where such regulations are there?
Prithvi, no, your good name?
Preeti, sir.
Preeti.
Yes. Sir.
Okay. Preeti, madam, thank you. I think beautifully. I appreciate your openness in bringing this idea. With respect to Odisha also, we have brought out a state level report, state-wise analysis of accreditation reports of Odisha. We have gone there to Uttar Pradesh, Lucknow, and we conducted a program. We had interaction with the top officials of your state, and we collected a lot of information. It is there in our report, but very well said. Therefore, we have to analyze why they have done like that for the promotion, why they have not considered the other aspects. Number one, we have to review. Number one, keeping whatever the circular the government has passed, keeping that in mind, one has to review. Number one, and number two, for the promotion, for the purpose of promotion, they must not have linked the research contribution. Therefore, you are saying unless we link it to the research promotion, how can we encourage the research culture? How do we inspire the people who are having interest to take up the culture? That is your concern. I also join with you. I think we have to just see, other than this, there are different ways of promoting and encouraging. Therefore, we have to look into it. Therefore, we have to bring this information to the notice of the government so that let them consider our appeal. Therefore, as was said, we have to see that those who are doing potential, having potential and doing a very good research, a functional research, need-based research, they should be recognized, they should be rewarded. Either for the purpose of promotion, if promotion is not there, second alternative would be they should be given some kind of financial assistance. Maybe the cost, whatever that they have spent to do their PhD, maybe that should be returned, or some other recognition should be there. I join hands with you. We will see, madam, what best can be done. Thank you for sharing that information. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Dr. Mathangi, you may ask your question.
Good afternoon, sir. This is
Yeah,
Dr.
good afternoon.
Mathangi from Chennai.
Yes, ma'am. Good afternoon.
It was
Tell
a
me, ma'am.
wonderful, informative session. I have
Thank
two
you.
questions, sir.
Little loudly.
If the institution has expertise in specific area and conducts workshops, inviting faculty from other institutions, the registration fee that is generated through that program, where the skills are given to the faculty of other institution, can it be accounted for consultancy or revenue generation?
Once again, I am not very sure what the experts are going to say, those who have participated in the peer team. But however, my understanding is you are collecting the delegation fees. People are coming from outside. They want to stay. They want to get your knowledge. And therefore, you are collecting the delegation fees towards food and other things. Therefore, no, our philosophy is not like that. Our philosophy is you have to go to a place where the demand is there for your knowledge, then your competencies and skills, and then you have to organize there in a systematic manner, and so that you are very sure that you are given a structured input to them. They are also very sure that they have got a lot of benefit. Therefore, they are ready to recognize your service, recognize your institution for having shared so much of inputs to them. In that way, the weightage will be more for whatever I am saying, and whatever you are saying, they may appreciate. But we have got other categories under seminars, workshops conducted, you may get little weightage, but I'm afraid you may not get it maybe under the consultancy area. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. There is a question in Q&A.
Yeah.
How can one identify research and innovation? From Dr. Dharmendra Kumar.
You see, how can one identify research and
innovation?
Okay. Now, research, you are focusing upon creating a knowledge. That's all. It may be an exploratory research, or it can be a descriptive research, or it can be a correlational study. Therefore, your main idea is to find out, relating the variables and find out some kind of newness through that study. You are creating a knowledge. In innovation, whatever the practices that you are doing, you may change your practice in a new direction so that the benefit will be better. Therefore, research and innovation, they are connected. That's why some people also will be using the word, it is an innovative research, they say. Everybody does the research in one manner. Here is a person who does it in a different manner. Therefore, that research can be called as innovative research. Therefore, these two can be at one stage, if you want, you can distinguish these two. On the other hand, you can say they are also correlated. Therefore, they are all related there. They are all related. As I mentioned, here the concentration is to produce the new knowledge, create the new knowledge, solve a problem using the systematic approach. But in the second category, whatever you do, you deviate from that. Whatever the practice, you are doing it. So for admission purpose, you are asking everybody to come and join, standing in a queue and do it. If you switch over to the online admission, then it is an innovation for you. An innovation for you need not be the innovation for other institutions. That is also there. I think therefore there can be both two can be related. Both two aspects can also be separated and then discussed. Thank you. Any other question, Lakshmi?
Thank you, sir. I'm not able to see any questions, sir.
Okay, then I think we request Madam. Therefore, I thank all the participants from my side because always their enthusiasm is the motivation for us to proceed further. Therefore, I thank each and everyone participated in this online webinar and who is not visible to me from my side. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Good evening to all. I deem it a great honor and privilege to propose the vote of thanks on this occasion. I, Dr. Ruchi Tripathi, Assistant Advisor in NAAC. First and foremost, I thank our Director, Dr. S.C. Sarma, sir, for delivering a talk on managing research in higher education. Sir, thank you once again for your precious input. And also, we are grateful to you, sir, and your guidance has always encouraged us. I also express my heartfelt thanks to Dr. Srikant Swami, sir, academic expert, research and analysis wing, NAAC, who made an incalculable speech, research and innovation and consultancy. Sir, you are one of the backbone for this event to become successful. Thank you once again, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
I thank all the distinguished participants for sparing your valuable time for making this program successful. Before concluding, let me express my sincere gratitude and appreciation to coordinators of this program, our advisor, Dr. Ami Kumar Dutt, sir, and our academic expert, research and analysis wing, Dr. Srikant Swami, sir, for making this program memorable. We have been fortunate enough to be backed by our team of very motivated and dedicated colleagues, which includes our advisor, deputy advisors, assistant advisor, consultant, academic consultant, administrative staff, as well as finance staff, senior FLO, and all good hearts who work behind the screen. Last but not the least, I thank our NAAC ICT team, Samil sir, for their cooperation in making this event a resounding success. Finally, I leave you this inspiring quote by Swami Vivekananda ji. Take up one idea, make that one idea your life. Think for it, dream of it, live on that idea. Let the brain, muscles, nerves, every part of your body be full of that idea and just leave every other idea alone. This is a way to success. Once again, I thank you all for your attention. Thank you very much. Namaste.
Namaste, madam. Namaste. Thank you.
Namaste, sir.
Thank you,
sir.
Pushya Lakshmi and others. Samuel, everybody, thank you. Okay.
Thank you.